A new book shares a message of hope through some of life's toughest struggles. I spoke with its author about the healing power of faith. Joining us now from Indianapolis is Ericka Andersen, author of Leaving Cloud 9, the true story of a life resurrected from the ashes of poverty, trauma, and mental illness. Ericka, welcome to the program.
Thank you so much for having me on.
This is your husband Rick's memoir about his tough upbringing with a mother addicted to drugs and alcohol. Why is it so important for you to share his story?
Yeah, we wanted to share my husband's story because there are so many people we believe that can relate to some of the things he went through. He grew up the son of a single mother who was a severe alcoholic, who eventually became a drug addict, experiencing everything from abuse to neglect to, witnessing domestic violence in his home to watching his own mother even attempt suicide. And though he experienced the extreme end of some of these traumas, we know that there are thousands of people in this country that are going through parts of that. And especially because right now the opioid crisis is kind of taking over the country, and there are millions of kids that are going to be going through it now. And so we believe that it's so important to share this story because it includes hope.
In the book, you write about the luxury of the ordinary. I haven't heard that before. It's interesting, the luxury of the ordinary. Explain to our viewers what that is and why so many of us sort of take it for granted.
In my research and in talking with my husband about all that he went through, so many people that go through these things, all they want is a normal life. They don't want anything exciting. They're not looking for the next big thing. They just want to be able to live a quiet, peaceful existence where everything isn't a threat, and they don't come home to danger or anxiety or fear every single night. And that's all that he ever really hoped for in life. But unfortunately, after living through that as a child, his life and his mental space continued to be filled with fear and anxiety and depression as a result of what he went through. And until he really found freedom and healing, he didn't experience the luxury of the ordinary.
So let's go into that a little bit deeper here. How did God help your husband transform his life?
So God is really the star of the show here in this book because though my husband was able to get himself out of that cycle of poverty and addiction, he joined the army, he went to college, he got a job. He never really was living. It wasn't until he really hit an emotional rock bottom, having been diagnosed with PTSD, with bipolar disorder, with depression, anxiety, social anxiety disorder. I mean, so much was plaguing him from the effects of his childhood that he said to himself, I have nothing else left to try. I'm at the bottom of the pit and I don't know where else to go. And a seed had been planted in his heart, and he decided to turn to God. He decided to say, I'm going to say a prayer, I'm going to go to church, and I'm just going to see what happens. And it turns out that was the answer that he was looking for.
So you and your husband now have your own family. How has faith helped him become, as you describe it, the parent he never had?
As a small boy and just really growing up, he didn't have that father figure in his life. And he has truly gotten to know God as his father. And, I think it came full circle when our son was born, because until then, he didn't realize all the love that God could feel for him. And when that happened, and he just thought, man, if I love my son Jacob this much, imagine how much God loves me. And it just truly strengthened his faith even more and took it to another level. And it's just been wonderful to see. And now we have a daughter as well. She's 4 months old, and of course that process was just repeated with her birth. So kids really make you see the world differently.
Such a powerful message and a powerful story of faith, prayer, and reliance on God. Ericka Andersen, author of Leaving Cloud 9, the true story of a life resurrected from the ashes of poverty, trauma, and mental illness. Thanks so much for talking with us.
Thank you so much.